views and opinions expressed in the following program are those of the hosts and guests, and not necessarily those of the staff and management of WWDB-TV.
Playing down that big old fairway. Don't want no hackers to get in my way. The boys and me got a big NASA.
Well, hi once again, everybody. Welcome into this edition of Golf Unedited, where nothing is out of bounds. So glad to have you today. I'm Dennis Silvers, along with my great co-host, Jay Schrader. And I'll tell you, we have been cooped up, as everybody in the country has. We're finally getting back to a little bit of normalcy with things opening up here, particularly the golf courses.
Yep.
And I was playing golf the other day, Jay, and I thought of you because typically I was looking for my ball in the crap, and look what I found was a golf ball. What kind of logo does that have on there? And I thought of you immediately.
You know, this little Kansas City logo on it, you know, down there, those Chiefs. Recently, they've been very good. I have to give them credit for that. But, you know, back in the day, it was, you know, just like a scrimmage.
Yeah.
We'd just go down there and scrimmage. But, no, it's typical that you were looking for your ball in all the wrong places because you spend a lot of time there.
Yeah, that's why I say it's very, very typical. But, you know, when I play the Encore ball, and everybody knows we are brought to you by Encore Golf, who makes great, great golf courses, I don't have that happen. And real briefly, I had somebody send me this. He must be a viewer, hopefully. And if you go to the station's website, WWDBTV.com, you could find her address. And how cool is this? It says tea time. It says tea time. And when you're not drinking coffee, okay, you can, it's got a putter, it's got a little ball, and in between sips, you're kind of hitting the ball through.
You putt a lot better with that.
Yeah, with that. So anyway,
maybe you should take that on the course because I've seen you putt.
We appreciate anything you want to give us. You want to send us gifts. You want to send us shirts. More importantly, if you want to send us money, we're down for that. You can send us cash. You can send us checks. You can send us debit cards. Jay even likes Bitcoin, so we're not fussy.
You know, but it is great to be back out. We were able to play golf on Saturday. Had a beautiful day out there.
Yeah,
I had a lot of fun, and you know, hit some good shots. Hit some shots that we're not very proud of, but you know, again, that's golf. It's golf. What it is.
And we're outside in the fresh air, and that's where you got to be. We were styling again out on the golf course. We were wearing our logo shirts. You had the hat on.
Yep.
And we got a lot of compliments about it. Again, we're getting our website finished. We're going to have an e-store so you can buy all of this good stuff. And I want to give another shout out to SCG Branding Solutions, who did our logos. Go online, SinCityGraphics702.com. Check them out. Call them. They're local, 702-334-0186. And you're going to like. They got everything if you want anything branded.
Yeah, they did a great job for us. Tommy's a great guy, and we look forward to doing a lot of things. And again, once we get our e-store up and running and our website, we'll have shirts and different things for you to purchase. So looking forward to that.
Absolutely. We got a great show for you today. We've got a really great guy on. Not only is he a super guy, loves to play golf, very influential in his field. He is on top of everything that goes on in the golf business, and why not? Jay Herron is the CEO of the National Golf Course Owners Association, so he's in touch with everybody that's got something to do with the golf course. So we've got a lot to ask him about how he feels the golf courses and the owners and the management companies are going to bounce back from this.
There's been a lot going on.
Yeah.
We all know the last 2.5 months, golf course has been shut down, trying to reopen. How does that look? Everybody's got a little different take on it, so it'd be interesting to hear from Jay on what the owners of the golf courses are actually thinking and how they're doing in this crisis.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so without further ado, Jay and I are going to step away. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we will be talking to the aforementioned Mr. Jay Herron. Stay with us. We return right after this.
Playing down that big old fairway. Don't want no hackers to
Do you suffer from projectile dysfunction? Slice shots, short shots, hook shots, flu shots? You've lost your touch, and you're losing your mind. All because you're using overpriced and overhyped balls with outdated technology. Like the balls your dad plays with. Well, quit playing with your dad's balls and start playing with Encore's balls. At Encore, we bring innovation to the golf ball, from core to cover. Our balls caused the USGA to actually rewrite the rules on golf ball construction. Psh, no big deal. It's a big deal.
And because we're direct to consumer, we've cut out the middleman and passed the savings on to you.
Hey, I'm the middleman, and boy, do I have a...
Pay a fraction of the price for twice the performance. We're a no-brainer, but for like people with brains.
More distance off the tee mean your drives go farther. Check. More accuracy in the air mean your balls fly straighter. Double check. More durability means even you won't believe how long your balls last. Hey babe! Still going. With a soft feel and a perimeter weighted design, chipping and putting will be more consistent than ever. You'll be shaving strokes off your game faster than your friend can shave off that ridiculous crustache. What were you doing before you started using Encore golf balls?
Not hat and bombs.
And what are you doing now?
Hat and bombs.
So what were you doing before?
Soaking.
And what are you doing now?
Not soaking.
So if you're ready to cure your case of projectile dysfunction, go to EncoreGolf.com and pick up a dozen of our 2019 Hot List winning golf balls. Or if you want the enjoyment to last even longer, buy 3 or 6 dozen and get massive bulk discount pricing. Either way, grab our balls and prove us right. It'll make us both feel good.
The Impact Press is a new revolutionary training iron that is designed to improve how you deliver the club to the ball, called the Moment of Truth. This ingenious training aid was invented by Bill Schmedis, an award-winning PGA teaching professional who has been voted one of America's top young teachers. The patented design of the Impact Press simply forces golfers to see and understand how they should move their body, hands, arms, and release for tour-quality ball striking. Another great thing about the Impact Press is that it can be used both inside and outside or away from the ball to improve motor pattern, providing the feedback needed to take your game to the next level. The Impact Press is for all ages and abilities who are looking to vastly improve both body and club movement at impact. The Impact Press is used and endorsed by top teachers and coaches in both Golf Digest and Golf Magazine's top 50 and top 11 golf instructors. The bottom line is, feeling is believing. Better ball striking, better scores, more fun. Go to ImpactPressGolf.com. That's ImpactPressGolf.com.
All right, welcome back everybody to this part of Golf Unedited, where nothing is out of bounds. I'm Dennis. I almost said I'm Jay.
No, don't be trying to be me now. Come on.
I'm Dennis, and he's Jay. And by the way, you all know that we're coming to you from the great facility here at WWDBTV, right in the heart of Las Vegas, just moments from the world-famous Las Vegas Strip, which looks a little bit differently these days. Jay, how weird is it driving down the boulevard with nobody there?
You know, it's crazy to drive down the boulevard and not see people on the sidewalks.
Oh, my goodness.
It's eerie. It really is.
It is eerie.
It's eerie to know what it was before. The good news, everybody's talking about reopening and what that's going to look like. Yes, there'll be a lot of different changes and things like that, but that's okay. But they're at least talking about reopening the Strip and getting things back going. So that's
and
exciting.
a good sign too. Last week they had a big announcement. In fact, they had my friend Brian Hawthorne, who's the executive director of the Wynn Golf Club, on one of the local stations, and they're getting ready to reopen.
Yep.
And they're going to do all the social distancing and all that stuff, but at least people can have a chance to go out and play that golf course.
That's right. Yeah, the wind's reopening, so that's a great destination. It's just unfortunate that the hotel and the casino's not open, but at least we're getting a start on it. They'll get the golf course open up, and people will be able to enjoy that.
Yeah. Anyway, let's welcome Mr. Jay Herron on from Charlotte. Jay, you there?
Hey, Dennis, I'm here, and I'm in Charleston, South Carolina.
Charleston. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I meant Charleston. Forgive me. But anyway, let me tell all of you a little bit about Jay. Jay's been the CEO, as I mentioned, of the National Golf Course Owners Association since 2015. Jay leads the association's initiatives to support the success, of course, of the golf course business. Prior to joining the NGCOA, Jay was the CEO of Select Registry, which is a portfolio of over 300 premier boutique hotels, inns, and B&Bs.
He's been around and been around the right people, that's for sure.
Jay holds a BA.
Slept around the country. Yes, I have slept around the country.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Slept around the country. That'll boy.
Jay holds a BA from Winthrop University, and he's got a Master of Arts degree in American History from the College of Charleston. Jay also serves as chair of the industry-wide advocacy coalition We Are Golf, as well as having served on many other boards. And Jay is married, 2 wonderful children, and one of Jay's many interests, he says, Jay, you'll find this interesting, he likes to contemplate the meaning of life.
Oh, please fill us in on the meaning of life, because it's crazy, especially these times. But, but Jay, it's great to have you here. My first question to you is very simply this: what have the owners of all these golf courses thought about in this time when they've had to shut down and try to reopen and shut down and restart again?
Yeah, Jay, it's been as crazy as you're describing it. So, for 8 or 9 weeks ago when this was first happening, everybody, that I know is getting into emergency management mode, crisis mode, that, not sure what was going to happen, how long it was going to take. Was this going to be weeks, months, or longer? So a lot of unknown is what causes a lot of fear in any business owner, right? And but small business owners, in my experience, and I've been representing small business owners for nearly 25 years at associations, and I'll tell you, no matter what's facing them, what challenges, small business operators are the most nimble. They'll crawl and they'll claw their way and scratch their way to survival. And if you're in the golf business, you guys know you have hostility facing you, every day with weather, what could happen and the unpredictability of that, and all kinds of adverse situations that if you're in an outdoor weather-based business. So golf course owners are really resilient and creative. So, they've all had to navigate, just like any business owner that's facing this. Golf is no different in the sense of trying to figure out how to stay alive. And thankfully, golf course owners, for the most part, except for some private clubs, could qualify for some of the federal stimulus legislation, the funds, where in the past golf courses have been specifically excluded from disaster relief funding. So this time they were not in the losers category of businesses that could not qualify. That's another story in of itself. So at least a lot of golf courses have had that to sustain them a little bit. And as you all know, in many states through this crisis, golf has actually been allowed to remain open, and the tee sheet has been able to remain open while the clubhouses and locker rooms and the restaurants have all closed down. So at least there's the lifeblood of the tee sheet with the public golf courses and being able to still sell tee times in many states throughout the country, and that was important to staying alive, because the golf course business is what we say a cash poor, land rich business. So not a lot of public golf courses have enough cash.
Exactly.
What are some of the creative ways these owners have stayed open? I mean, I'm sure you've talked to people all around the country, and we know here we have some that have the cups raised, we have some that have the styrofoam in them, all different ways. What are some of the creative ways that you've heard of?
Sure. So, back up even like to answer your question, Dave, like how they stayed open. First of all, there was a grassroots lobbying effort for a number of weeks early on just to convince governors that, hey, wait a second, golf is different. We recognize the pandemic and the need to socially distance and enclose places of public accommodation where people will gather. But, when you have a 200-acre property and, you can have dozens of people across 200 acres spread out, we had to convince governors across the country to allow golf to remain open. And that was a successful effort in many, many states. So just to stay open, we had to convince folks that we could stay open, that we should stay open as a good thing in your local community to go out and enjoy in a socially distant manner. So that was number one. But number two is like you said, the blocking and tackling of actually operating, right? So those that were privileged enough to stay open had to implement social distance policies. Everything from the game that you're talking about, like, raising the, putting foam things in the cups and nobody touching the flags, or some courses would take out the pins and just put the cup in the middle of the green, just, for consistency and not have to worry about any touchable surface. Some courses removed a lot of surfaces. They covered the ball washers and any benches and things that you just should not touch. Some courses went to single rider vehicles, so that unless you came with someone or lived with someone, you couldn't share a golf cart.
Right.
That was a way to try to keep that social distancing. Golf course operators themselves are having to go out and police, groups of people and say, hey, you guys are standing a little too close. If you don't mind, spread apart. So they're having to manage a new set of variables, obviously, to remain open and healthy. Right. So that's important. A lot of places shut their country clubs and full restaurants down and are doing takeout only. And so they are able to keep the food and beverage alive. In some cases, guys, that actually has improved the profitability of the food and beverage operation, because it's not, a lot of golf courses lose money on the food and beverage side.
Yeah, so, that's a very good point. And I know some of the golf courses here, Jay, they have opened to the extent that they're social distancing with the tables inside, only letting so many people sit at the bar. So at least it's a little bit of getting back to normalcy. But I want to ask you this. I know that the NGCOA does a lot of things for the golf course business. But Jay, if you had to narrow it down to what you feel is its primary purpose, what would that be?
I would say it's a close tie between advocacy and education. Advocacy, public policy. An industry needs an organization to advocate for it when there's adverse public policy that is brewing or what have you. So that is a fundamental piece of work that any trade association will do for its industry. So I'd have to say advocacy is probably number one. A close second is simply education. We publish Golf Business Magazine. We put on 2 or 3 conferences a year. We have the Golf Business Podcast. We now have a Golf Business Live webinar series. So pumping out education on how to operate successfully. That's everything from the latest in customer service trends to how to manage your P&L properly and how to save for capital projects to how to deal with the online tee time companies that Dennis, you and I have talked about before. Right. So those are the top 2 things that we do, and we've had to repurpose all of that right now to help course owners and operators navigate this new situation, and that'll be the case for the foreseeable future. There
were a lot of golf courses, at least in my view, and Jay and I were talking about this earlier, that were kind of on the edge because of the competitive nature of this business. This thing comes along, they're shuttered for a couple of months, revenue is totally gone, don't know if they could get it back. Do you think you're going to see an uptick in golf courses that shutter permanently, or all of a sudden a lot of golf courses being bought?
Great question. I without anecdotal evidence of it actually happening, if I was to read the tea leaves, I'd say this would accelerate those that were on the brink. Okay. The numbers that it'll push up, I have no idea. We've been averaging between 150 and 200 golf courses closing a year across the country. Now, I want to qualify that, guys, because the media likes to write, the headline is that, oh, golf is suffering, golf is dying,
Right.
so courses are closing. But when you look at every one of those transactions, so many of them have actually little to do with supply and demand in the market. Vegas may be a different story, but that the real estate, the land, becomes so valuable to a developer, and they have the zoning rights to be able to build on that land, that it's worth 10x to a developer than it is as a golf course. And so a lot of dynamics can be at play as to why golf courses close. It's not always because, oh, there are too many golf courses or not enough players. That's a macro argument for sure. But at the micro level, when you look at that, there are a lot of reasons why golf courses close these days. Now, but I can't see how this will not accelerate the closure of some that simply, one, had no cash in the bank, are in a supply and demand upside down curve in their local markets, and either have the zoning that is attractive to a buyer, so let's go ahead and sell. We were hoping to last another 3 years, but let's go ahead and do it now. Or, some that just pushes them out of business because they either don't have zoning for a developer to take advantage of, and they simply run out of cash. So it could happen. I don't want to prognosticate the numbers, but I don't see how this won't accelerate some of that.
You bring up a good point, Jay, and my first thought is very simply this: is it going to affect the city courses a lot more than the private courses? Because the city has a budget, and they're
Good
strapped.
point. Great point.
Private owners have a little bit more; they can get more investors and things like that. So, do you think city courses, the ones that the once a week golfer or the once every 2 week golfer, do you think they're going to be more affected?
That's a great question, Jay, and it's a complicated issue.
I gave
that
it
you
to
would
him.
imagine, right? Because in many places around the country, municipal golf courses are subsidized by the taxpayers. They show a loss on paper, right?
Yeah.
So they might lose $300,000 a year, but the city or the town will justify that because it's an amenity that is available to all the citizens, and it's green space, and there are great advantages as to why they exist. But right now, when the tax base is going to start shrinking, possibly, everybody's going to be in this recession. You'll have city councils and administrators looking at their own P&L and saying, "Man, we continue to lose $300. Now we're losing $500,000 a year on this park, in this golf course. We need money, and we need to do X." So you can see where that will be seductive to sell the golf course, turn it into something that doesn't cost them as much money. So I would say that would put some municipal courses on the endangered species list right now, and we're pretty sure that is happening. That it was happening before the pandemic, guys. Honestly, that a movement towards what do we do with this 300 acres that we have, and is golf the highest and best use of it for our citizens? So it's under. I would call many municipal golf courses in this endangered species category, which is a difficult situation for many communities to grapple with.
Well, absolutely. And Jay, if I had as much money as you did, I'd be out here sniffing around looking for some good deals to buy up some of the golf courses. But Las Vegas is a perfect example. And by the way, we're talking with Jay Herron, the CEO of the National Golf Course Owners Association. Clark County and the city, Jay, here is a perfect example because we've kind of put all of our eggs in one basket with the casino, and we are losing tens of millions of dollars every week. We have some city courses, we have a county course, they're taking it in the shorts, and you wonder what they're going to do as far as cutting back and trying to make up for this lost revenue, Jay.
Yeah, where do they make it up? I mean, Jay, one of the things they just had on the news here, without the casinos, they've lost about $35 million in the school budget.
Right.
Because that's where a lot of the school money. So
everybody has shortfalls.
Everybody's shortfall. How much of that is actually, to those amenities, to the golf courses? So that's a question that nobody can answer. We're going to have to wait and see.
We're just going to have to wait and see. Jay, one last question, because I want to make sure to get this in before we run out of time. You and I have had some discussion about this before, especially going through a time like this. What is your view overall of golf courses that are run by management companies? And do you think because of this, the management company role might start dissipating?
Wow, nobody's asked me that question lately, Dennis. I would say
that's why I get the big bucks, Jay.
I hate to qualify the answer for you, Bud, but it's like it all depends, right? Because a lot of the management companies they could have a portfolio of 10 courses or 200 courses, right? And so the
Right.
expertise goes up and down the line. It all still has to do with who is there on the ground running it. So if a management company puts in a superstar manager that understands customers, that understands revenue management and so forth, they can turn around, an operation, especially municipal operations that are run by, town staff that might not really understand the golf business as much, right? So you get that. So I think municipalities that happen to hire management companies probably are raising the quotient of expertise at that level. Now you look at the rest of the golf industry, and again, it's going to be all depends. You got a lot of owners and operators that have had golf courses for decades, and they're just tired. They want to keep the asset because, as I mentioned, it's a land-rich, cash-poor business.
Right.
So they might want to keep the asset, but hire out the management of it and just keep the equity that they have in the land for some longer-term purpose. And so they strike a deal with a management company to operate it. And, it's a tough call because it's just like it depends on who you hire at the local level to run it. That's really what it comes down to, I'd say, more than what multi-course owner or management brand happens to be on it.
Yeah.
That's true.
It's a great question because it's going to be interesting to see over the next year to year and a half, I would say, before we can actually call, and find out, like, golf destinations. Phoenix, where I used to live in St. George, it's a golf destination. These type places, how are they going to survive? Because, as you said, you need numbers. You need the people to come out and play golf.
Yeah, they need to
the travel spots are going to get hit hardest right now, the destination spots, because it's going to take a while for travel to bounce back. But the local play is up. Demand is really strong right now around the country for golf.
Yeah, because the golf courses here, when they opened, Jay, they were just jammed, which is tee sheet filled up for a week, 10 days in advance. It was tremendous.
People are looking to get out.
Exactly. Before I let you go, I heard that you all might be coming out to Las Vegas towards the end of the year for some event.
Right now, we have scheduled the Golf Business RevCon, which is all about revenue management. It's scheduled for September 30th and October 1st at the Aria Resort, one of our favorite properties. Nice. As you can imagine, we're scenario planning on that right now, Dennis, whether or not we can actually have the event in person. If the world's not ready to travel, we probably might not be able to take a risk by putting on the conference, and we'll have to postpone it to 2021.
Yeah.
How many are you planning on for that conference, Jay?
200 folks.
Okay. So it's not thousands of folks, so it's a manageable number. But here again, all the processes. Aria is going to have to work with you, and you guys are going to have to be careful. But we sure hope we get to see you when you come out.
I do too.
Yeah, I do too. And as you know, the PGA Merchants Fashion Show and Demo, which is end of September at Venetian, has been canceled. They're going to do some online stuff all the way up to Orlando in January, but it is what it is as far as the convention business. But Jay, we really hope that you could come out, maybe come out early and get out on the golf course, because bottom line is we can use the money. Bring cash.
I could use the money because I know you're going to lose to me.
Well, he loses to everybody, Jay, so that's not, he's used to dishing out money, so it's all good.
Oh my God. Anyway, Jay, you are the greatest. You're one of our favorites. Stay well, stay healthy. I know you're just unbelievably busy, and you just do a terrific job, and we want you back sooner than later, of course.
Thank you, guys. Stay safe and have fun out there on the course.
You as well. Thank you. Jay Herron, everybody, terrific guy, and just, he's got it down.
Yeah, he's got it down, but I can't imagine how busy and how many different things they've been trying to organize. And, some of these owners, because it's different by counties, by states, and, who can open, who can't open.
I know.
And to try to find the right balance. And I appreciate what they're doing, because like you and I, when we were out on Saturday, it's just great to be outside, be in the fresh air.
Phenomenal.
Hit it around and have a good time doing it.
Yeah, phenomenal. His phone must be blowing up, I'll tell you. All right, we're going to step away again, take another short break, and when Jay and I come back, we're going to finish it off with a little bit more of Golf Unedited. So we return right after this.
Playing down that big old fairway. Don't want no hackers to get in my way. The boys and me got
Is arthritic pain, stiffness, and soreness keeping you from enjoying the activities you love? The new copper-infused CopperTech Golf Glove will fix that. The CopperTech copper-infused golf glove soothes arthritic hands and provides support for muscle stiffness, soreness, and pain, reducing muscle recovery time with compression comfort that improves muscle circulation. Engineered with the healing magnetic properties of copper, the CopperTech Golf Glove helps alleviate muscle stiffness and joint pain.
The copper-infused technology helps my joint and muscle pain.
The CopperTech Golf Glove uses silicone spiderweave palm technology, never seen before in a golf glove.
As a senior mini tour player, this silicone woven technology helps me grip the club lighter, and consequently I get more clubhead speed.
The silicone palm grips great and outlasts anything else I've ever used.
The non-slip woven silicone pattern improves slip resistance. Plus, it wicks sweat away to prevent chafing and rashes.
I've been a golf coach and a professional instructor for 25 plus years, and this is one of the best products I've ever seen to help my students feel a secure grip, gives them great traction, and I know it's really going to help their golf game.
Get back in the game, practice longer, and play longer.
Dr. Christopher Choy has long been recognized as one of the top concierge doctors in Las Vegas. He and the entire staff at the Concierge Wellness Center have earned the reputation of unsurpassed medical care and service to all of their patients. In a continuing effort to always advance his practice, Dr. Choy is now offering an additional service using the most advanced laser therapy treatments available. Sure, being in great physical health is very important, but so is the mental boost you get when you know you look your best. Whether you want to lose those wrinkles, diminish acne scars, decrease pigmentation, are in need of skin tightening or permanent fat reduction, here's the answer. No matter what procedure suits you best, you have peace of mind knowing there is no actual surgery and no downtime. You just get results with these amazing laser treatments. You might wonder if it hurts. The answer is no. All you feel is a slight tingly feeling when having the procedure. Now is the time to go for it. You'll love the results you'll get. Call Concierge Wellness Center at 702-463-8080. Again, that's 702-463-8080. You'll be glad you did.
Hi, we are back, and thank you so much for hanging in with us. We hope you really enjoy the show. We love bringing it to you, so we look forward to seeing you each and every week on Golf Unedited. A couple things to clean up. Jay, you know, last week they had the TaylorMade thing on, the driving thing to raise money, which they did a great job of. It was $8 million something or another. But I thought the actual event really wasn't done that well. I heard a lot of criticism about the announcers were flat, no energy, no vibe or anything. I get them doing a thing for TV because people are hungry for that, but I don't think it was done well.
Well, yes and no. There's a couple of things in it. It's hard to do that on minimal staff.
Yeah.
I get that. The thing I was really disappointed in is the interaction amongst the players, because you know, I was looking when I saw Ricky Fowler and those guys out there going to do that event. You know, like when we go out, we give each other a lot of crap. You know, they were kind of on their P's and Q's, and Dustin Johnson was quiet. I thought
very quiet.
I thought, what the heck? I thought Matt, did a great job for being a young kid, stepping up there and ripping some of those drives and everything like that. So it accomplished what it wanted to. It raised a ton of
money, which is great.
A ton of money. I do have to laugh. I don't know how many people caught it, but being around the golf industry, I think it was the 14th, 15th hole or whatever. Everybody had putted out. Dustin Johnson puts in. It's when they all birdied the hole and everything else. And they show him walking off, and the only clip you see is Dustin go, "Oh crap, I got to go get my bag." Yeah. He's so used to having somebody carry his bag, he had to turn around and go get it. And I thought that was fun. But I thought there should have been more of that, more interaction. When Ricky turned and waved to everybody, after he made the putt, that was awesome.
Yeah.
That's what people want to see.
And it was kind of like a home game in the sense that they're carrying their own bags, and a lot of people got a kick out of that.
Right.
What do you mean, Tiger's going to carry his own bag?
Yeah.
What are you, serious?
Right. So, it was good to see them, just like the rest of us, using the rangefinder, trying to figure it out, where they have all this interaction on a normal basis with their caddies and all that. You could just see them like, boom. I was surprised, again, Dustin Johnson, how quickly he played.
Yeah.
Which is good because maybe he was just out, knocking it around, seeing what's going to happen. But again, the bottom line is they accomplished their goal. They raised a ton of money. And, good for them.
Yeah.
And it was good to see live sports back on TV. And it's a start. And we're just going to get better from here.
Yeah, and we talked about it too a couple of weeks ago with NASCAR that was running. They had a tremendous amount of viewership, obviously. Empty stands or no stands. And
here again, NASCAR's got, 5 events in the next 3 weeks or something like that. So they've got one coming up Wednesday. And, again, so they're going to get on it and it'll get better and better. But it was great to see people out competing and people are starving to watch it. So it's a start, and we're heading in the right direction. That's a good thing.
A lot of people have mixed feelings about that. Yeah, they want to see the sporting events. They want to see stuff go. But without the fans, though, it just kind of leaves you flat, Jay. I mean, let's face it. Let's be honest.
There's no question.
Yeah.
There's no question. You, as an athlete in that environment, you thrive off of the fans, whether you're on the road or at home.
Right.
You can do it both ways, and it is lacking that. But here again, this is unprecedented times.
Correct.
We've got to deal with it. They've got to deal with that. They've got to find a way to compete. The PGA Tour is coming back in June.
Right.
So the first few events are going to be without any fans. And it's going to be different. It's going to be different for them. It's going to be different for us to watch. But it's back, and they're getting back at it.
And I'm making a prediction before we finish the show that if they come back and they're still up in the air as far as having caddies, number one, they will have caddies, I believe. And number two, I believe you're going to have a couple of incidents of tour players coming down with COVID-19 for whatever reason. But I think you're going to see that.
Well, I think in any sport you're going to see that, no matter what they do. And it's general public. You're going to see people are still contacting the virus.
Right.
And that's going to continue. And the key is hopefully they can catch it early enough where it's not severe and it doesn't affect anybody's lives. That's the bottom line.
Yeah, absolutely. Anyway, that's going to wrap it up for another edition of Golf Unedited. Before we leave, make sure you go to the station's website, WWDBTV. Check out our sponsors page. All of them are fantastic. We've got direct links to them.
Yep.
We're going to have exciting news for you next week about Encore coming out with a new ball.
A brand new
called
ball,
the Herron. Is going to be absolutely awesome. And they got some other things in the works that we're going to tell you about. And then also we are, big news, I believe it's early June. We're going to an hour.
We're going to go to an hour show. Yeah, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So it's a way to bring you a few more guests and continue having fun on and off the golf course.
On and off the golf course. That's the important thing. Anyway, for Jay Schrader, I'm Dennis Silvers. Keep it in the short stuff, and we'll see you back next time. So long.
Look at that guy in front of me. That bum, he can't even get it past the latest tees. Look at these greens. Ain't nothing faster nowhere. Harbortown golf links, we love it. Winged foot golf.